Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. Today is January 2nd, 2018. And I'm going to start this day off with what's out there is it's a keto tag. And nobody's been specifically pointed out or tagged in this. What a lot of people are doing is tagging everybody that subscribes to them. And even if you don't do videos, just ask yourself these questions if you do keto. So, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20 did one this morning. She said she was tagged basically with Keto and Chaos, who tagged all of her subscribers. So I thought I'd give this a shot. I wrote down all the questions, and I'm going to answer them real quick. And I'm going to post this before I post my full day of eating on going back to the carnivore challenge. And when my daughter came home, it kind of threw me off. And we're gonna start over. We're gonna reset the carnivore challenge today. So, I did take my weigh-in this morning. I have recorded that. I'll post that with my end of the day video as far as my carnivore challenge goes. Alright, so let's get started. Keto tag. Question number 1. How did you find keto? Well, let me go back to October of 2014 when a tumor was discovered in my stomach. And I started chemo and was feeling kind of yucky and started to do some research on how I could make myself feel better. And I was on Netflix one day and watched Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, a documentarian who did juicing. And I said, wow, that's pretty cool. You know, that it's basically vegan, I guess, vegetarian, because all you're doing is juicing fruits and vegetables, and that's all you do. You do that for 30 days or whatever, and you see how you feel. So as far as buying a juicer, I bought a juicer, started juicing, and started following some people on YouTube who did juicing. At the time, I knew I had to have some of my stomach removed. So I figured, you know, if I could get into the liquid side of it, then, you know, maybe that would help. And I ended up watching a lady on YouTube for a little while who was doing juicing called I Need More Lives. I'm not even sure what her name is, but her YouTube channel is called I Need More Lives, Lives, Lives. And she was juicing, and I followed her for a little while. Like, and in the first like 10 to 14 days, I think I lost close to 10 pounds juicing. And my original weight, it was right up around 180 something. So I dropped like 10 pounds. But as the time went on and I started watching her, she mentioned keto. Now, this was right around February of 2015 when I started watching these YouTube videos, and she mentioned keto. So it kind of piqued my interest because she was losing weight fairly rapidly doing keto. So I started doing my research, and literally all you had to do was type in keto in the search bar on YouTube, and so much stuff popped up. And I didn't go directly to private people who were doing it. What I did was I started watching Tim Noakes and all the doctors and professors, Eric Westman, and then I came across like Jimmy Moore and started watching what's called Low Carb Down Under, which is a conference they do in Australia, I think every year. And I binge watched so many like YouTube videos of people who had done keto, who had done low carb, high fat, who were doctors and professors and athletes and things. And I did that for 3 months. And on May 25th of 2015, and this is the next question, when did you start? After 3 months of research, because we all say when we start this, there's no way you can eat all that fat and all that protein and lose weight and not walk away without a heart attack. So that, I mean, that was our thinking, and it's still some of the thinking today. When did you start? Question number 2, May 25th, 2015. So I'm coming up on 3 years of keto. And why did you start? Primarily it was for cancer. Losing weight, I needed to lose weight. I was big. After my back surgery in 2012, I got very sedentary and really packed on the pounds. I'd get down to like 180 something right after my back surgery, and then just went completely ape hog wild. Just ate whatever I wanted and did no movements whatsoever. I stayed sedentary for, wow, till 2015. For 3 years, almost 3 years, so for 2.5 years, I ballooned up almost 100 pounds. So, and that's why I started. For the weight loss and for the cancer prevention. How much have you lost? At my lowest, I got down to 186 at my lowest, and that was about 94 pounds. So I, in almost 3 years, 94 pounds. What struggles have you had? Those are my struggles. I am a completely slow loser. Slow. I mean slow. And I don't know if it's hormonal because I'm premenopausal. I don't know what it is. I tweak my macros every now and again, and I'm just a slow loser. Again, it doesn't frustrate me to the point where I just quit. I'm just not going to quit because that's not my primary reason for doing keto. My primary reason is for cancer prevention. Other struggles have been, I was fairly regular before starting keto. I do have constipation now. I don't know if it has anything to do with the surgery I had on my stomach or this enormous hernia that I have my intestines popping out of my abdomen. I don't know. How has keto changed my relationship with food? Well, I was a cook. That was my profession for a lot of years. Hold on. Black coffee. I don't know if you guys can see me without tipping. Trust me, it's black coffee. So my relationship with food has always been all foods all the time because I professionally cooked and I love food. I don't know if I would put it in the category of addiction, possibly, but I just love food because I cook professionally. So I'm around it constantly. After I started keto, I no longer, because you're so satiated and it really is an appetite suppressant, my thought process no longer was, while I'm eating my breakfast, what am I going to have for lunch? Or while I'm eating my lunch, what am I going to make for dinner? I mean, that was my thought process all the time, every day, while I was eating, always thinking ahead of the next meal. That was always, because in the military I was trained to do that. We were always thinking ahead, or always prepping ahead to do our next meal. Because you're feeding a lot of people, so you had to have ample time to get the next meal prepared and the next meal cooked for that specific meal. And that was always my thought process, is what's next? What's next? What's next? And that went away to the point where there were days where I forgot to eat the next meal. And that was almost unheard of for me. I was thinking, what? It's like 4 o'clock and I didn't eat. I hadn't eaten since maybe 8 o'clock in the morning. That is the miracle of this way of eating, is you just, food no longer controls you. So, has keto changed any other areas in my life? Energy. I don't go out looking to exercise. I don't, I think it's, I can't sit still, but I don't purposely go out to exercise. I just can't sit still. I sleep so much better. So much better. I thought the older that I got, the more broken my sleep was going to be, because that's just the way I would wake up several times during the night because I was like achy or just couldn't get comfortable. Now, straight through. And I don't wake up feeling like I didn't get a minute of sleep. I wake up fresh, I guess. I don't know. I have amazing sleep. And the whole cancer-free thing has changed my life, too. So far, I am still cancer-free. And I attribute it to cutting out the sugars and the carbohydrates, because if people would just understand, cancer feeds on glucose. Excess glucose is what makes it grow. So if you starve the cancer, in my opinion, you cure it. And I have another CT scan in a couple of weeks. I have to go for my follow-up, my 6-month follow-up. So we'll see. I'm 2 years post-op tumor removal. Was 2 years post-op tumor removal in November. So far so good. Do you think keto is sustainable for life? I do. You have to be committed. You have to be committed to the cause. Why are you doing it? You can sustain anything if you put your mind to it. Are you going to slip up? Absolutely you're going to slip up. But for 95 to 99% of the time, this is a sustainable way of eating. It is. It just is. Would you recommend keto to others? Not outright. I wouldn't. I agree with Sarah from Pearls of Wisdom. When somebody asks me what I'm doing, I will offer the information to them. What they do with it is totally up to them. I have recommended it to my cousin because she has possible fatty liver disease, and it's a lifesaver. So I have recommended it to her. What she does with it is up to her. I can't force this way of eating on anybody. You have to want it. If you take your life seriously, you'll do it. You'll do it for other reasons. If nothing else than to feel better. And when you eat carbs like I did over this holiday, I felt like shit. And I knew exactly why I felt like shit. And yeah, I would recommend it to people who ask. If you ask me about it, I'll recommend it. What are my keto goals for 2018? Stay cancer-free. To continue to stay cancer-free. I do have some weight goals, and I think I'm not going to be unrealistic about them because I already know that I am a slow loser. So if I can do 2 pounds a month, I'll be at goal by the end of the year. That's 24 pounds, and I'll be down to 170. My goal is between 165 and 170. So, Itchy nose. So anybody who wants to do the tag, even if you don't do videos, even if you just sat down and wrote them out and answered them, then go ahead and answer them. But yeah, guys, 2018, I mean, I had a good 2017. You know, nothing was terrible about it. 2018, I think is going to be just as good. So I'll come back in later with my all-day eating of what I'm going back to the carnivore way of eating, carnivore challenge, call it whatever you want. Zero carb. And we'll get this show on the road. I had a bit of a road turning when my daughter showed up, which was amazing. I was so happy to have her come home. She is back there now, so yeah, let's get this show on the road, guys. Alright, I'll see you in a minute with my all-day eating carnivore diet. Love you.